guys, it is Dani and welcome to this updated video where I'll be giving you the latest on the tropics. So we have what is Tropical Storm Dani making landfall along the southeastern coast of the US. And so out in the Atlantic we have our Invest 95L that we're also going to be making mention of, and we're going to be talking about what is anticipated for the future of 95L and if we're going to be having more waves developing after it's going to be making its way toward the Caribbean. And so guys, before I go into details, okay guys, so as of right now on the satellite imagery, we're seeing here that Dani is looking fairly compact. It has made landfall and there is still that threat for the US, especially in terms of the rainfall. And so looking at the cone forecast from the National Hurricane Center, we're seeing here that Dani is going to be accelerating to the west-northwest during the next couple of days. And at this time it is moving to the west-northwest at 16 miles per hour and it has maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour. And earlier today achieved maximum winds at 45 miles per hour. So Dani is not strong and it actually is going to be making its way through the southern portion of South Carolina, where tropical storm warning is still in place because tropical storm-like conditions are going to be prolonging at least through tonight. And then it is going to be making its way across Georgia and it might dissipate or become a remnant low over the northeastern portion of Alabama or the southern portion of Tennessee. And so guys, if you're in those regions, you might experience some inclement weather from Dani as it is going to be making its way inland and dissipating, but by tomorrow afternoon we're expecting that it is going to be achieving post-tropical cyclone status. So Dani is a relatively short-living tropical cyclone, guys. And so now let us go on to our Invest 95L. And so here we have it. The chance is still at 40% for this to develop during the next 5 days, and it's going to be making its way toward the Lesser Antilles by the midweek and making its way into the Caribbean. And there is the possibility that it could go really anywhere in the Caribbean. There are a lot of possibilities that are on the table. It can go north of the Caribbean, it can cross into the Caribbean and probably make its way to the Gulf, or it can travel along the South Caribbean and move into Central America. So there are a lot of possibilities on the table for the system, which is why we have to keep paying attention to it, and that's why I'm always giving the updates on it as time goes by. And looking at the satellite imagery of it, we're seeing here that the system is quite disorganized, but it's very small as well, so it is not in a region that is quite favorable to support it to develop. The strong wind shear along with the dry air that is moving across the region are going to be helping to inhibit development during the next couple of days, guys. And so it still has a chance to develop, of course. That's why the chance is so stagnant, because we're not really seeing much improvement with the system as it makes its way westward. But again guys, it is likely to reach the Lesser Antilles by late Wednesday and it could slowly develop into a tropical cyclone while doing so. And so guys, I would say if you are in the Lesser Antilles or maybe the Greater Antilles as well, please keep an eye on the system, especially as we're going to be heading into this weekend, because it is likely to cause inclement weather conditions. Despite just being a wave, or if it develops, it's still going to be resulting in some inclement weather conditions, guys. So please take the necessary precautions and stay safe as the system is going to be making its way in. And so in terms of what our models are expected in terms of the potential intensity or the maximum intensity, we're seeing here that we have most of our models expecting a tropical storm, one expecting a hurricane, and this is really expected from about 36 hours from now out by one of our models here. And so we really have to wait and see what the eventual outcome of the system is going to be. But once it is going to be in a region that is quite favorable, at least for maybe a day or so, it is going to be intensifying because the ocean temperatures are already quite supportive of this thing to develop. So all we need now is for minimal dry air and favorable wind shear. And so as I speak about that, let's take a look at the wind shear map. And so we're seeing here the system is located just in that region of a bit of unfavorable and neutral shear, and also some favorable shear seen there. And how to know that is by the color scheme. So we have the greens meaning favorable, the yellows meaning neutral, and the reds being unfavorable. So the system is really going to be having a hard time to keep itself together and actually survive moving across the Atlantic as it approaches the Caribbean. But we can expect a bit of increase in shower and thunderstorm activity. The system here could slowly develop into a tropical cyclone, and the next name after Dani is ELSA. And I mean, to see this much activity in late June, head into July is just quite interesting, guys. So this could be foreshadowing what is up ahead, especially as we're going to be approaching the peak of the hurricane season. And so if you're curious, the next name after Elsa is Fred and then Grace. So those are the next 3 names to be used. And you might be wondering why I'm giving you the next 3 names instead of just Elsa. Well, let's go on to that right now. So we're going to be taking a look at what some of our models are expecting in terms of the tropics in the next couple of days. And so first up is, of course, the GFS model. And this is a map showing the isobars, which are lines of equal pressure. And when you see them closer in a circular manner with the pressure below 10-13 millibars, that is usually tropical cyclone, especially in the main development region. And so this is Wednesday the 30th of the month, the last day of the month, and we're seeing here that not much becoming of 95L. We're just seeing that a bit of moisture being there. So let's go further out into Thursday the 1st of July. We're seeing that most of the eastern Caribbean is probably experiencing some increased shower and thunderstorm activity from the system here. So regardless of it developing, it could still produce some very dangerous conditions. And then take a look just to the southeast of the Windward Islands. We're seeing that tropical wave right there. So let's go further out and see what happens. And so this is Friday the 2nd of July, and there we have 95L most likely just making its way across the Greater Antilles as there's an area of moisture. But there we have that 1009 millibar low pressure system just a bit to the east of Trinidad. And so let us go further out, and we see that the system here, the pressure has dropped, which indicates strengthening. This is Sunday the 4th of the month, and so here we have this 1001 millibar low, most likely a tropical storm at this point, and this is just what the GFS model is showing. And so going to Tuesday, we see the model taking the system approaching Central America right there, and then by the 8th moving into the Bay of Campeche. And so this is a very bold prediction that the GFS is showing right here. So it is not expecting that 95L will develop. However, it is expecting that another wave behind 95L could develop into a tropical cyclone. And so let us move on to CMC. And so this is Wednesday the 30th of the month, final day of the month. There we have that low pressure system east of the Lesser Antilles. And so by Friday the 2nd, there we have it, and it is just to the southeast of Jamaica. And so the model has it making its way well south of Jamaica, probably increasing the moisture across the island, especially if it is not a tropical cyclone and it's not so compact. Because when we have these systems so disorganized, it is going to make the rainfall quite widespread. And so the CMC eventually has it making its way into the Gulf and intensifying a bit, showing a tropical storm probably making landfall in the southeast Louisiana. So this is quite interesting what the CMC model is showing, something a bit similar to the GFS, only the GFS is showing the system making its way into the Bay of Campeche, and it's actually showing a different wave and not just 95L. And so this would be a very interesting outcome to see. And so guys, again, none of this is even guaranteed to take place, so we really have to wait. But as of right now, 95L is likely to induce rainfall activity across portions of the Eastern Caribbean as we're going to be heading into the midweek. And so if you're in the Lesser Antilles, you want to be prepared for that, guys. And so guys, that is really it for this update video. Again, Tropical Storm Dani'i has made landfall, and it is going to be accelerating into the southeastern portion of the US tonight, going into tomorrow, and it could dissipate by late tomorrow. And so guys, if you found this video to be quite informative, please give a thumbs up, and you can also share your thoughts in the comments or ask a question. I'll try to respond as best and as soon as I can. And just remember to always be wise, and of course I'll keep you updated as time goes by.